don't think I belong here. I don't think I fit in.
Oh, nonsense. Of course you do.
Oh, no, I mean it. I mean it. It's just somebody must have goofed if I gotta stay here another day.
Peace! It's Professor Griff, public enemy, the ex-minister.
Which means it's too strong.
You are now listening to Serious Minds RNTV with your host, Professor Griff. The call-in number is 516-654-7688. That's 516-654-7688. This is Professor Griff, and this is Serious Minds RNTV. Serious Minds for Serious Minds. Seriously.
Greetings, peace and love, and welcome to Smile Pharmacy Apothecary. We've been here since 2019, and although times have changed and healthcare has evolved, our traditions of compassion and professionalism thrives on. You are always at the heart of what we do. Smile Pharmacy, we heal. Visit us today online or in store at smilepharmacy.com.
Greetings, family. The Resurrection Formula is on sale now. You can order it at www.professorgriff.me or simply call 678-557-2919 or just text 678-557-2919 or scan the QR code on the screen. This is Professor Griff. Thank you very much. The Resurrection Formula is on sale now at www.professorgriff.me. Thank you.
Million. That's how many people in the U.S. suffer from chronic pain. Many turn to opioid painkillers for relief.
The evidence is not at all clear about the efficacy of these drugs long-term for chronic pain.
Mayo Clinic pain management specialist Dr. Mike Hooten says what is clear about these painkillers is the risk associated with taking them.
The problems of addiction, but also a related problem of accidental overdose deaths.
Keep your body in motion with Little Goddess's Pain Potion on littlegoddessapothecary.com.
All right, greetings. We got to make sure everyone can hear me. All right, let me go to these. All right, Quan, what's good with you? Shout out to everyone. Give thanks to everyone for tuning in tonight. This is Professor Griff, and this is Serious Minds Are in TV. Thank y'all for being with me. Working through all of these commercials. It's a beautiful thing, though. People want to get their business on, their information out there, so we have to make it happen. Thank everyone for responding on the show to for actually, stepping up to the plate. And while I'm actually having the sale on my new book that I just put out. People have stepped up to the plate to support the cause, and I truly, 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 truly appreciate that. All right, thank you very much. So for the people that don't know, real quick before we dive into this subject, let me see. Do I have a copy down here with me? Not sure. Hold on. I'm gonna have to get a copy, but let me put the cover on the screen. All right. This is the book. It's called You Are the Song That You Sing. I think I'm going to play the commercial. I'm going to run upstairs, get the book so you can see it live. But anyway, You Are the Song That You Sing is simply a ABC book for children from 5 to 12 years old. Of course, the book goes deeper than that. So I'm even thinking that someone older than 12 can kind of dive into it. I kind of put it together because I answered the call. A lot of times I was hearing my son or my daughter wants to get into music, but they haven't studied music history. They don't know who's who. They don't know those individuals that came before them. So I decided to put a book together, A, show the parallels, and then B, kind of dive into those artists who've learned their ABCs in order to put them into songs. So we go back to some jazz artists and some old classic R&B artists. We go back to some old school hip hop artists. We bring it right on up to date. This is the book, You Are the Song That You Sing, and you can get it by going to www.professorgriff.me. Let me play the commercial, and I'm going to run upstairs, get the book, bring it down so you can see it. Then we're going to dive into the subject. The subject tonight is Colorblind Kids develop a way to kind of discuss race. All right, so we're going to dive into that, and then in 30 minutes we're going to have my good brother on Hernandez from Smile Pharmacy, and of course Aisha Ra, and we're going to be talking about the herbs that children need to stay healthy. All right.
You are the song that you sing. Who are the artists that have learned their ABCs and put them into song? This children's book is designed for parents, teachers, educators, and gentlers, and mentors to use as a tool to teach the alphabet and bridge the gap between the musical ages. It's on sale now. Call 678-557-2919 or go to www.professorgriff.me. Thank you.
Okay. Guess I'm right on time then. All right, family. Shout out to everyone on IG. I kind of couldn't get IG last time I was on. I tried to bring it up. It wouldn't come up. So this is the book we talked about last time. You Are the Song That You Sing. And as you can see, I kind of dove into the book. I went back and brought some positive lyrics and positive energy from the artists of yesterday and the artists of today. And I want to put this book into parents' hands, in the Jegna's hands, in the guidance counselor's hands, teachers' hands, mom, dad, grandmom, so you can take this book, so you can sit next to your grandson, your grandchild, and go over the ABCs. At the same time, give them a history lesson on dealing with music, dealing with the artists, and extracting those positive lyrics. So I put positive lyrics from artists such as Tina Turner and Tupac. All right, because I went through the ABCs. All right, the page right next to that's the letter S, Ciroc. I dive into Ciroc's lyrics. Of course, Stevie Wonder. All right, Stevie Wonder, Salt and Pepper, Soleil. So I picked about 50 some odd art, and we just kind of diving into the lyrics, and we're using this book to educate that generation that's coming up behind the one that's coming behind us right now. You understand what I'm saying? Get the book, sit down, use it as a tool to bridge the musical gap. All right? I think a 5-year-old can wrap their brain around the alphabet, and I think a 12-year-old can wrap their brain around the history of all of those artists that came up to build this foundation, this musical cultural foundation. All right, so we can learn about those particular artists and how they took the ABCs, they learned them, and then they put the song. All right, let's use it as a tool to educate the babies. All right, tonight's subject, we're going to be talking about this idea of these children being colorblind and not being able to understand and learn race. All right, so I want to dive into that as we kind of dive into the show. So greetings to everyone. Mr. Sherbert Jean Griffin, what's good with you? All right. To everyone that ordered the book should be in my hand on the 25th or the 26th of August. So, all right, the 25th or the 26th of August, everyone that has ordered the book already, thank you very much, Quan. I'm going to put that up right here. All right, You Are the Song That You Sing, new, released by Professor Griff. If you would like to purchase the book, just go to www.professorgriff.me. Thank you all very much for everyone that has ordered the book so far. So let's dive into this subject. So I said to myself, let me go back into this idea of what this critical race theory has to offer, and then why is there so much pushback. All right. Once again, shout out to everyone on IG. Really appreciate y'all for tuning in. All right. Shout out to Serious Minds family on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, wherever else it's being broadcast. All right. So let's dive into this subject. Let me just gonna share this. I'm gonna share my screen. Let me share my screen real quick so we can dive into the subject. Share screen. Doing that. Got you. Share screen. We got 2 monitors. It's easy. All right. I'm not sure if everyone on IG is able to blow it up like that. I think that's better. All right. Kids develop views on race when they're young. Here's how some preschools are responding to this idea of race in the classroom. So family, you already know that there's been an outpouring of concern about the truth being told on the K through 12, the K through 12 kind of schools across America. I did a program with Carl Nelson on the Carl Nelson Show, and I kind of laid it out, and we talked about the idea of critical race theory. We talked about the idea of them taking out certain things that are in the history books now that they don't even want young kids to study. Some of those, I had the report right here. Some of those things are, they want to take the writings of Frederick Douglass out. They want to take Dr. Martin Luther King out totally. They don't want to talk about race. They do not want to talk about the idea of the truth about America's history. They don't want to talk about white people being colonizers. They don't want to talk about the inventions that Black people created. When you start talking about civil rights movement, you start talking about the struggle in the 60s, you start talking about revolutionary movements, not only in America, but throughout the globe. They don't want to talk about the true history of white people coming to America. They don't want to talk about the genocide of the Native Americans. All right. And these kind of things are very critical when you start talking about race. There's one thing that I wanted to point out in particular, that when it came up, I had to go back and study it, because when you start talking about these treaties and you start talking about documents that held the Native American in place so that the Native American couldn't get their land back, the Native Americans couldn't breathe. I dove into the whole idea of scalping, and where did that practice come from? I'm trying to find. Not only did I deal with critical race theory, I talked about the House Resolution Bill the House Bill 3979. And then I talked about the critical race theory. Then I talked about the 1619 Project. Then we talked about how would you celebrate something like Juneteenth. All right. So I'm trying to find this particular document. They want to rewrite the history. They want to talk about slavery, but they want to talk about slavery as being just the whole idea of an inconvenience and a relocation of inconvenience for Black people after all that we suffered in America. I want y'all to look up the Scalp Act of 1749. The Scalp Act of 1749. And you're right, Quan. That education needs to start at home. We need to start teaching our children at home. It says, on the first day back in school, a group of 3-year-olds at Little Sun People Preschool in Brooklyn, New York, spent the morning learning how to write their names. On sheets of construction paper, they filled in the letters with brightly colored squares of cloth from Kenya, Nigeria, and other countries across the African continent. Next door, their 4-year-old classmates learned about body parts. Who likes their hair? The teacher, Aaliyah Barcliffe, asked the students. Arms shot up. Who likes their skin? Arms shot up. Who likes their beautiful skin? Arms shot up again. Yours is like chocolate, she told one student. Mine is like caramel sundae. So when you start talking and using that particular language, it becomes a very critical problem in the K through 12 schools right now as we speak. All right. You said you're scared to go there. Don't be scared to go there. We have to be able to talk about these things, because these are the things that should be talked about at home. These are the things that mean something to us. All right. Let's understand the dynamic when we talk about this. This is what white kids and white teachers do not have to discuss. Simply because if it was already in the history books and it was already taught, then we wouldn't have to push for these things to be taught, not only in school, after school programs, how the textbooks are written, how the tests are written, what homework do they give. Then we can move it on and start talking about holidays and how holidays are celebrated. All right. Oh, give thanks you have a warrior teacher that's not afraid. Exactly. So we have to be very mindful. We either have to speak these things into existence, or we're going to become extinct. All right. We have to talk about our history. We have to talk about who and what we are as a people. And this is very, very, very necessary in the development of young children. So who is it now that wants everyone to be colorblind to the point where no one can talk about who and what they are? All right. Anthony Adams, thank you very much. All right, for purchasing the book. So family, please do me a favor. I don't mind if you go purchase the book now. I'll shout you out as we move along. All right. Even with the book, that I've created recently over the last few months. These kind of books are necessary. That if we're home and young parents are home with their children, all right, we need to put books in their hand that they can sit down and not only read, but then have their children read them back to them. All right? What's wrong with us opening a children's book and we having to recite some lyrics by Soleil or Sarak or Wise Intelligent or Dead Prez or Public Enemy? All right? I think that's critical, man. Very critical. Then we get to introduce our children to those artists and the contributions and what those artists gave us and what they lent to the culture. All right? This other article, it said, as children of many, this article, pardon me, is called 10 Tips on Talking to Kids About Race and Racism. All right? When we talk to our children about racism, if we're not starting off with Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's fundamental definition of racism, white supremacy, then what are we even talking about? All right? What are we even talking about? All right? So as children, many of us recall being shook or scolded by adults whenever pointing out the different people's differences, such as skin and hair color. Or we may recall a teacher abruptly ending the conversation when a question regarding race or racism was brought up in the classroom. All right. From these interactions, we likely learned that talking about race was wrong. See, we're sending the wrong signal. If you get a bouquet of flowers, all right, you don't shush and hush. You admire the flowers and you appreciate every color flower that's in the bouquet, right? Okay. But why is it that when we start talking about the differences and the contributions of those individuals that contributed to the building of America, that there always ends up being a problem? All right? So they're engaging in these conversations. So here are the 10 tips, because I got a guest coming on at 7:30. So let's run down the 10 tips. 10 tips to help you on this journey when it comes to talking about race and racism. All right? Examine your own understanding of race. If race wasn't discussed in your household growing up, do some research on your own and reflect on what it brings up for you. The more you understand race and basically what it means and trying to understand it and how it permeates our society, the better equipped you are to teach your children about race. All right, number 2, become comfortable with terminology and familiar with how certain concepts are used. Colonizer is not necessarily a negative term. It's the truth. Cracker is not a negative term. It's a title. All right? Number 3, when your child brings up a topic related to race, don't be afraid to keep the conversation going. Keep the conversation going. Get some clarity. All right? This lets the children know that it's okay to talk about it when they notice it. All right? But right now, we went through years and years of being told that we're porch monkeys, that we're ugly, we're no good, and everything that associated with black was negative. We've turned that around. Starting with brothers like James Brown. James Brown said, "Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud." Nina Simone and other people gave us songs. All right? I think it was Nina and Simone who gave us Young, Gifted, and Black. All right? Other people have done the song over. But it's a beautiful thing when this information comes up and then we can begin to discuss it. All right? All right? Find opportunities to ask questions. All right? 4, number 5, let children take the lead. Let them tell you what they already know about race. Because I'm sure with TikTok and some of these other platforms, children ain't stupid. They know. They're not colorblind. They see. I hear you, Quan. Let children take the lead. When I recommended that parents intentionally initiate conversations about race and racism, children will often bring up thoughts that they have on their own and what they already think about it. All right. 6, involve your children in activities to help them learn about their own culture, racial and ethnic backgrounds. This helps them develop a greater sense of who they are. 7, help your children to think critically. All right. Help your children to think critically when it comes to race. Don't be afraid. Children are not afraid. It's the parents that are afraid. And when the parents become afraid, the parents are only afraid because the parents have not studied race and don't know how to ask the questions and keep up with young people's minds who's constantly racing. No pun intended. 8, recognize your child's limits and know when to stop. All right? Correct the child when the child uses racist terms. All right? When we start looking at pictures of when they lynched black people, and we start looking at the children that were in the audience, them children were traumatized. All right? White children. What happened to their education on race? What was their education on race? They brought their children to the picnic when they sold black people and picked niggas. So the conversation about race was already happening in the white home. All right? 9, initiate a book club or conversation group with other parents who are interested in learning how to talk with their children about race. We need to have the discussion. Yeah, the brain tonic is in stock. You can purchase it. Resurrection formula will be in stock September 4th. All right? Okay. Number 10, it's okay to make mistakes. Once you make the mistake, go back and do the research with your child. That'll teach them how to do research. That'll teach them critical thinking. All right? Hence the term critical race theory. It's no longer a theory. This is critical race healing. Critical race healing. Thank you, Dr. Khalid El Hakim, for that. Critical race healing. Not critical race theory. This is critical race healing for us. Do white people need to be taught? Yes. Who are the ones that's going to be responsible with teaching them? We are. Children are not colorblind. And we need to understand that. Research clearly shows that children not only recognize race from very young age, but also develop racial biases by age 3 to 5. So Quan, you're right on it. Quan said, in my humble opinion, I think children should be taught about racism when they're able to speak and comprehend. So at a very young age, like 4 or 5. That's why I set the ages for my book from 5 to 12. All right? Shout out to John Trey. What's good with you? All right? Thank you. Thank you, Rob, the poet. Critical race healing and critical race facts. All right? Hold on for a second. Let me get this right. Come on. There we go. Let me pinch it back. All right. All right, family. So this question, we're going to have to take this a little bit deeper on another show because I have a guest coming on at 7:30. So come on. Let's begin to not be afraid to have this discussion with our children. All right? Because they have their own ideas about race anyway. We need to kind of sit next to our children and get them to understand it through a proper lens. Once again, the book is on sale now. Now listen, it's only on sale for that price up until, I believe, the 15th or the 25th, I believe. I'm not sure how long. All right. After that, the price has to go up. All right. All right. The price has to go up because the book is full color. And if anybody anything about printing books, a full color book, 50 some odd pages, is very, very, very expensive. All right? Very, very expensive. All right, family. Any questions thus far? I think I could field a couple of questions. Any questions? Come on, talk to me. Let me get my screen back. Stop sharing. All right. Any questions so far? Yes, there are a list of books out there that you can get that kind of deal with race. All right. You could get those books. Hold on for a second. Let me copy this link. I've sent this link out earlier, but maybe the person didn't get it. All right. I don't know why they didn't get it, but they should have got it. All right. All right. Let me see. Yeah, you're right, Aunt Mo. Grab it now for the bargain, right? Yeah, grab it right now for the bargain. What I did was I ate the costs for the shipping for the people that have purchased the get the green, black, and red in, for the people that purchased for the people that are in the membership, part of the Serious Minds membership, for the people that always support the platform. So what I did for everyone is brought it down to a price that everyone can afford. All right. But I did that for a limited time only, I think for 2 weeks. When the 25th hit, the price has to go back to its normal price. Simply because of the cost of the book. All right. I am doing a part 2 because I let some people review the book and they said, Brother Griff, come on, man. How could you forget certain artists? And I said, I know, I got to do a book 2. I'm already working on a book 2, and I'm already working on translating the book into Spanish. All right. If you know anyone that speaks Kiswahili, I'd like to work with them also to get it in Kiswahili. And a lot of our brothers and sisters are speaking English on the African continent. A lot of our brothers are learning Mandarin and Cantonese. If you know anyone that speaks these languages, hit me up and I'll transcribe the book in those languages. All right. Right now we're working on the Spanish version. All right. Okay. So that's where we are. All right. If you want to order the resurrection formula, just text me and I'll send you a link. But it's not going to be ready until September 4th. All right. So what and I have a couple of people that I know that are blind. So I am going to do an audio book. All right. Thank you, John Trey. I really appreciate that, man. I think it's necessary. If you want to order the Serious Minds Brain Tonic or Resurrection Formula, my number's on the screen. Hit me up and we'll go from there. All right. Okay. All right, so family, we have to be able to get your library up. All right, get your weight up as far as your library is concerned. We have to be able to get those books in our library. All right. So that when they start banning books and they start burning books like they're doing now. All right. Yeah, yes, they are. Y'all know they are. See what they're doing in Florida. Burning books. They don't even want certain books. They ban certain books. They don't even want certain books in the damn school. They don't want them in the library, in the lunchroom, in the desk, under the desk. All right. Do I have one of those books? I'm not sure if I have it down here, but yeah. Stamped from the beginning. All right. They don't want these books. ISIS papers, any of the books that we would raise our children when we homeschool, they don't want those books. They don't want those books in the library. But we have to put them in our library and begin to have early childhood education at home. All right. My granddaughter is 2. Grandson is about the same age. They should be reading this book right now. They should be reading this book right now. All right. If they can start to formulate words at 2, then they need to know the ABCs. You understand what I'm saying? So they should get this right now. That's where we should start. Oh, give thanks, Camden Walker. True justice, shalom. Thank you, Quan. Our history needs to be taught to us, by us. All right? To us, by us. All right, family. That's all I got for y'all today. Inshallah, I'll be back on Friday evening, but I will be broadcasting from Kansas City. All right? I'm doing a benefit for Spruce. Of course, y'all already know that. Simply because when I was on last time, I gave y'all the information. Some of y'all actually looked it up. The beautiful thing. All right. So I'll be broadcasting from Kansas City. The Spruce fundraiser. I'm going there to speak on mental health, racism on a global scale, and how it affects mental health. Oh man, hold on 1 second. I think my guest finally caught a flat tire or something, a digital flat tire. I'm not sure what happened, but hey, it is what it is. Peace. What's good with you, bro?
Peace. All is well. Can you hear me?
You all right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That first link wasn't connecting.
Yeah, you freezing up already.
Yeah.
It's probably because it's about to rain.
I think because it's
plus
the rain.
You're freezing.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, it's raining over here, so it's about to get shut down. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Okay, so I think the back and forth thing may getting frozen and that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do just for this last part of this show, run down what herbs children should be taking, parents should be giving their children, and what for, what age, and what amount. Because I think that's important. All right. So if children, hypothetically speaking, let's just say a child gets a cold, what herb would you recommend?
Oh, I'm gonna go with elderberry first thing. What you say, Mama?
Peace and love, Griff. Yeah. So elderberry syrup. Anything with peace. Hanging on. Got a couple more weeks left before we drop this baby.
Take your time.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely taking my time. But yeah, elderberry syrup and the herbs that's in there. Well, not particularly in ours, but just in general, something that's high in vitamin C, vitamin A, something that's antiviral. So something, of course, elderberry. They want to get some natural fruits in, like your grapes and strawberries. Let's see.
Also, in these times,
Yeah.
a lot of people in the mint family, something called lemon balm. We have so much in the backyard growing. That stuff it's people don't know, but it's an antiviral. It's a natural antiviral. It does a lot of other things as well. But when you're talking about a cold, man, you get some lemon balm, make a little tea, and that's really what you need. Also, the elderberry. I would also look at, children have a lot of energy, especially these days, and their attention kind of gets a little thwarted. So two things that you can definitely use, which I've been using on my children for the last 20 years, is chamomile.
Yes.
So you can put that in the bathtub. You can just take a tea bag or two and drop it in the bathtub and have a little bit for them to drink. When they get out, a little bit of tea with a little raw local honey. Those are some good ways. You can also use lavender. So if you get you some essential oils, my queen here is the
How
essential
about
oil.
teething?
Oh yeah, teething is awesome. So I would say if you have like some good
How
coconut.
about teething?
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? I don't know
Yeah, I
if you
can
can
hear.
hear us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there we go. Okay. So yeah, teething, if they're
Yeah, I
going
can
through
hear
that
you.
stage of teething, coconut oil, some olive oil or grapeseed oil. We will mix that in a pure essential oil. I've been a doTERRA advocate for the past 7 years. So what I've done with Goddess was create something with a lavender, a little bit of just one drop of clove, but more so of a carrier oil, and mix them together and just rub it on the back of the gums. But also breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is, if you're an advocate of breastfeeding, that also soothes the gums as the child's nursing. You can utilize the oil, roll them, put a little roll on together, and rub it on them gums. But also in this time, a lot of babies are getting a lot of respiratory infections and viral infections. And what else is going on right now? This new thing they have going on with the in the air.
Oh, yeah. So, they talking about the new virus out here. That's kind of why I brought up the antivirals, the natural antivirals.
Mm-hmm.
And, for the children, there's all kind of herbs
Wait,
out here.
let's give a disclaimer before we go further.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let's give a disclaimer.
Oh,
Oh,
that's right. Yeah. So, none of what
We
we're
just
saying.
started talking. We got.
Yeah, everything that we're saying is not, it hasn't been evaluated by the FDA or any other medical associations. This is not medical advice. This is for educational and entertainment purposes, if you will. But more for educational, not really entertainment. So, just to be clear. But yeah, there's a lot of things. Even rose hips. So you can get the rose buds, or even if you have roses growing in your garden, if you're growing organic roses, that is. If not, you can go to your local herb shop or whatever, and you can order some rose buds. They're very high in vitamin C, and they also help with that nervous energy, and it helps with the attention. So a little bit of that tea. The chamomile also helps to calm the children down. Almost anything in the mint family is going to be also antiviral and antiseptic, antifungal, etc. So these are all things. And then something that's kind of like off the beaten path as far as herbs per se. But when it comes to children, another thing I've used on my own with my own family for the last 20 years is colloidal silver. I've used it in, when the children have a little earache or a little scratchy throat, man, you give them a little bit of colloidal silver, and the next day they are A1. So, I will say this, Griff, just make sure you following the instructions on the back of your, the product. And usually the instructions on the back will have instructions that are for the children. But if they don't, cut it in half. If they're, teenage to preteen, cut it by a quarter if they're small children. So if they're asking for a teaspoon,
Right.
give them a quarter teaspoon. They don't quite need the same amount. You got anything you want to add, babe? Also, homeopathics. So homeopathy is great for children. It's also great for your pets if you have pets, because the energy in the homeopathics is much more subtle. Sometimes adults have issues really getting the full benefits I found with homeopathics, but children, it's almost instantaneous. You know, that's been my experience.
Yes, hit us with a question.
Oh, okay.
But everything
All right.
that he's speaking on now is on our website at smypharmacy.com. Everything from the essential oils that we was just speaking about, definitely lavender, eucalyptus oil. We have a whole kit on there as well. And if everybody's on here, they know we've been serving the community with our immunity builder boxes. So make sure you still getting your boxes in. It's not just for you, it's for the family. And that should last you at least 30 to 60
Right.
days, depending on how many people in your family. So make sure you hit up smypharmacy.com. We have your essential oils, the elderberry syrup, everything from your thinker oil for children to actually concentrate and think during these school times.
Yeah, now that we're back in school.
Yeah, now that we're back in school, we definitely have the essential oils and the Bach flower remedies mix. So it helps with your emotions as well. And if you need a holistic consultation, make sure you click the link that is on our website for consultations, and we can assist you in your journey.
And get Griff's book, because Griff has been doing this work for a long time, and we're homeschoolers, and so we're adding it to our curriculum this year.
Definitely.
And we got a 2-year-old and a little one on the way, but we also have a 12 and a 13-year-old. And even though they're not really looking at the ABCs, you really kind of touched on some things the other day when you went in as far as the lessons that you can learn from these songs. Because as a parent, I think a lot of parents, are just letting their children just kind of go and do what they want. They're giving them phones and letting them just do what they want. But these phones are supercomputers, right? So as we know, there's more technology in our cell phones than they had in the space shuttle that went to the moon. So if that's the case, these children are being exposed to all types of stuff. The music is very low vibration, which Griff has been teaching on this for at least the last, 20, pushing 30 years on that information. Right. And it's critical. Right. I'm very proactive as far as making sure I know what's going on out there, know who's who, which rappers coming out, and I listen to the songs at least once because I need to know what's out here. I don't want my children bringing it to me. Nah, I'm a instruct and teach them about it, who to stay away from, who to listen to. Like my 13-year-old, his favorite rapper is Nas. So he, his, not every Nas song is for children, but there's a good amount of his music that is suitable for children. And you got to give them the classic. He's also old school, so our children listen to Bob Marley, Sade, Anita Baker, and they get into it. They're not listening to Lil Baby and the Baby and whoever else.
But it helps with their concentration. That's what I was saying. It helps with their concentration and how they're actually learning. So they're not just bouncing off the wall, and they're not just going, to anybody's school or anybody's environment and just talking about regular rappers who did this and in the gang and all of that. They can actually sit back and say, "Oh yeah, we know Auntie Sade, we know Uncle Bob Marley." We kind of put that in exactly a part of that.
Right.
So yeah, that's why we said the benefits of essential oils, Bach flower remedies. Make sure you give them a holistic, schooling. It goes from your music to everything that you put into your body and feed your soul. So yes, definitely. smypharmacy.com.
Right. All right. Yeah, somebody had a question. What are the best herbs for a detox starting off? What are the best herbs for a detox starting off?
For a child? Look for a grown person. What they say?
Folks.
Oh, we also have our detox elixir that's online as well. It's a nice elixir you can just take every day. It's not one that you want to run to the bathroom, what people think of a detox, but we do have a 21-day whole body cleanse as well for you. But herbs that I would suggest is like cilantro, peppermint is also good. What else we have also in there?
Pretty much, for adults, man, I'm definitely gonna go with some burdock.
Yeah.
As long as it's not a woman who is pregnant or breastfeeding. That burdock and that dandelion, those are like A1 top-notch herbs. They grow in the backyard, but they're herbs that people overlook, because when you're dealing with the burdock, you're going to be able to cleanse not only the kidney and the liver, but you're going to cleanse the blood. And when you cleanse the blood, that is the if you will, the root to the red blood cells are stem cells. So they create every other cell in the body. So if you have good, clean red blood cells, you're definitely going to, cleanse the body. So also chlorophyll.
Yes.
Chlorophyll in general, anything green. If you're going to, you can, spirulina, chlorella, moringa, any of the green foods, alfalfa. These are all great ways to cleanse the body, cleanse the blood, and therefore cleanse the entire system.
Yeah. Definitely hit up our site, Smart Pharmacy, again, because we have a plethora of detox herbs. Also, like our trifala is a good colon cleanse, but you can just take that as a capsule, or you can just open those capsules and put it into your water, squeeze some lime juice in it, and drink it straight up, So we have a lot of great herbs that's on site. If you type in detox or cleanse, it will pop up for you. Because it's all type of cleanses. I don't want to just narrow down one cleanse.
There's a lot of ways to do it. There's lymphatic cleanses. There's heavy metal cleanses. You got your parasite cleanse, your lung, liver, etc. So all your organ systems.
So that person probably needs a consultation, and then from the consultation, you can let them know which cleanse they need.
That's right.
Yep. Because we don't want to guess. If you never did a cleanse before, we don't want to guess and just give you something. But we definitely have our general detox elixir that's for just about everybody, because you can ingest it. You can actually rub it on your abdomen. You can actually rub it at the bottom of your feet while you sleep, because we know as you're sleeping, your body is rejuvenating and cleansing. So with this detox elixir, you can put it on your abdomen, your feet. And you can also place a couple of drops under your tongue.
All right, cool. So in closing, let them know where to contact you guys, how to get a hold of your products, until we meet again. So just kind of let people know.
Indeed. So if you see that link right there, thank you, Quan, for putting that up. That's smypharmacy.com. It's SMAIFARMACY.com. Make sure you click that link and explore, purchase exactly what you need. If you need a consultation, that's also online. We also do holistic biofeedback, where we can read your energy from your emotions to your physical to just about everything that's going on with you. And it only takes, less than an hour for us to run an entire body scan for you. And we can do that virtually as well. So make sure you go onto our site. Follow us also on all our social media platforms, where we're showing you how to grow your own food, and from your own food, how to create different recipes from there. And that's on YouTube at Smy Pharmacy GTV. And we're on Instagram, Facebook, all of that great platform. So smypharmacy.com. Give thanks. Oh, it's breaking up. Oh, I think it's breaking up on his end too. It's still running.
It's breaking up a little bit, Griff, if you can hear us.
Mine put back. Mine put back.
Thank you. You can put it back. Thank you. Uh-oh.
So I don't know if we're frozen or if Griff is frozen or if this whole thing is frozen. But
I don't think I belong here. I don't think I fit in.
Oh, nonsense. Of course you do.
Oh, no, I mean it. It's just somebody must have goofed if I gotta stay here another day.
Peace. It's Professor Griff, public enemy, the ex-minister.
Which means it's too strong.
Warning. Self-destruct sequence has initiated.
We just received some very disturbing news from Washington that the Supreme Court of the United States of America has stripped away the right and responsibility to protect its citizens.
The Senate passing the first significant gun legislation in the U.S. in nearly 3 decades.
Allowing ordinary citizens to carry concealed weapons into stores and malls, on mass transit, in daycare centers and hospitals, in polling places, or in bars and restaurants does not make us safer.
The Constitution protects an individual's right to carry a handgun for self-defense outside the home.
Greetings, peace and love, and welcome to Smile Pharmacy Apothecary. We've been here since 2019, and although times have changed and healthcare has evolved, our traditions of compassion and professionalism thrives on. You are always at the heart of what we do. Smile Pharmacy, we heal. Visit us today online or in store at smilepharmacy.com.
You are the song that you sing. Who are the artists that have learned their ABCs and put them into song? This children's book is designed for parents, teachers, educators, and gentlers, and mentors to use as a tool to teach the alphabet and bridge the gap between the musical ages. It's on sale now. Call 678-557-2919 or go to www.professorgriff.me. Thank you.